Thank you. Thank you, Virginia. Well, actually, Virginia asked me why talent matters in mines. But I guess just like everybody in this room, we are also in need of talent. However, because we are a voluntary welfare organization, and for our overseas friends, it's a non-profit organization or a charity. And honestly, we don't pay very well. Okay? In fact, some people think that we all should be working for free because we are a charity. Right? But the truth is we have about 600 employees. But anyway, today I'm not here to talk about talent in mines. I'm going to present to you a different pool of talent that we have out there. And this pool is often forgotten or even ignored because a lot of people don't think that they are capable to contribute back to society. So, ladies and gentlemen, mines. You look at them, aren't they adorable? And in fact, the smiles that we see on the faces are what keeps a lot of us going. It's the intangible that you don't get. It's the immediate satisfaction that we get. Disregard the pay, although I'm not saying it's not important, but it's the smile that you get that actually keeps a lot of us going. And I'm talking about Movement for the Intellectually Disabled of Singapore. We serve people with intellectual disability, and we have actually been around since 1962, so it's 52 years this year. And for those of you who watched the National Day Parade last Saturday, I'm not sure if you recognize this. Okay, for the first time in mines history, and for the first time in Singapore's National Day Parade, our taiko drummers actually took part in the parade as part of the military tattoo. And what happened was even the Prime Minister actually acknowledged us that they did a great job. Even the President also posted in his Facebook thereafter. Although we almost freaked out when one of them, the guy that you see on the photo, actually went to pet the President. So we were behind the scene and we almost freaked out and said, oh dear, we're going to get a warning come Monday. But so far so good. President has not made noise. But anyway, we're very glad that they actually took part and they showed to Singapore that they are equally capable. Okay, what is intellectual disability? Just to get the setting right. It is actually disability due to brain damage. And it actually reduces the ability to understand complex information or new information, or even to learn new skills and to cope independently. However, note that I say is reduced, not totally incapable. Okay? So they are equally capable to learn new skills if given time, given the patience, given the coaching. But what is often misunderstood is it is an illness. It is a disease, and worse still is a mental illness. Okay, whereas you can control mental illness through medication, there's no way you can control them through medication on their intellectual disability. And some people even think that it's contagious. So years ago, they used to be locked up at home because the parents are not willing to bring them out because the public are not accepting them. But it has changed. When we talk about intellectual disability, we usually will use an IQ as a quick reference. Just to share with you the different categories at the profound, before I go further, the people like you and me are probably IQ 90 and above. Okay? But for this group of people under the very profound end is IQ 20 to 25, very limited verbal skills, almost no effective speech. In the middle, you find the severe and the moderate. Okay, IQ 35 to 55, poor verbal and social skills, but they're able to perform simple tasks, right? At the higher end, you have the mild, which is about IQ 70. There's no sign of the brain damage when you look at them, but they are capable of doing unskilled job. Where does mind serve? we are serving people with moderate to severe intellectual disability, right? And just to share with you the services that Minds actually provide to this group of people. From age 7 to 18, they actually attend our special education schools. The two numbers that you see in the brackets, the one on the left is the number of students that we currently serve. The one on the right is the capacity that we can take, right? So we still have the capacity to take in more. But once they graduate, what happened to them? For most of us, we go out, look for a job. But for parents, graduation ceremony is the saddest day of their life because they don't know what's going to happen to the child. While in the school, they are all taken care of by the teachers. But once they reach 18, they are no longer out of the school. They have to come out to the society. And that's where a lot of parents actually feel very sad during the graduation ceremony. So one path for them is to go into our day activity center, or in Minds we call it the Training and Development Center. Right? This is for people who actually need a lot of support, even in toileting, even in their daily living skills. If they are a little bit more capable, we actually put them through our Employment Development Center, under which we have the Shelter Workshop track. Okay, this is where they actually come to work in our shelter workshop. We go out to get contract for them to do. Otherwise, we have social enterprises. Okay, this is where we actually employ them and yet make some money that will actually go back to them as their monthly allowance. And if better still, they are capable, we actually send them out for open employment, right? We also run residential services, right? For children 6 to 18, we actually run a children's home. This is a home that's licensed by the ministry, and it's only for children with intellectual disability. Now, this is also the designated home if there's ever a court order that says the child should be removed from the family because of family violence, because of abuse, or dysfunctional family. So they'll come to us up to age 18, and during this period, we'll work with the family to see how we can return them back to the family. If they are not able to go back to their own family, we also run the adult residential services, one of which is a community group home, where we actually rent some, in the local context, HDB flats for them to actually live in the community. So it's perhaps at most 2 units in one block. We don't want to attract too much attention, but they are also equally capable to live within the community. We also run the hostel and the home, right? For people, hostel for those who are able to go out to work and they come back to the hostel. For the home, it's really they're there 24/7, right? Well, I want to share with you a corporate video next, and please sit back and enjoy it.
There are more than 5 million people in Singapore, different people with various backgrounds and statuses. Among them exists a group of very special individuals. Beyond the differences in intellectual characteristics, persons with intellectual disability share a common trait with everyone: the ability to feel and experience life. While there are many challenges and limitations, they can still grow, participate, and find fulfillment if given the right opportunities and support. The movement for the intellectually disabled of Singapore, Minds, aims to advance the development, well-being, and aspirations of persons with intellectual disability so that they can be integrated into our society.
Persons with intellectual disabilities are part of our community. In building an inclusive society, we believe that they should be supported to receive education, care, and training to maximize their potential at each stage of their life. In Minds, we want to provide them with a healthy and nurturing environment that meets their needs holistically, as well as to support and handhold their caregivers in this journey.
Curriculum is very special because it's really catered to the child. I think a child, when he enters Minds, can be assured that he will be really pushed to his maximum potential.
Over here, our clients, they are given an opportunity to enhance their skills through various workshops, such as the pottery workshop, and trainings are also provided to make them enhance their skills in metal relief, paintings, etc. And they are exposed to various art and craft work, and also through all these trainings, specialized trainings and opportunity, they are able to develop further their natural talents and also the skills in this aspect.
Lasagna is actually a social enterprise, and we believe that all people, basically anyone who wants to work deserve a chance to work. We don't look at people with disability, we don't look at their disability, but we normally will look at what they are capable of doing, and we will design the job scope so that we can suit their capability. And we so far have 4 or 5 people with intellectual disability in our cafe, and we find that they actually are very committed to their work and very enthusiastic. It's actually a very, very stable workforce for us.
Minds is not just a facility. It aspires to provide persons with intellectual disability a home. While others have potential to live independently, there are also some who are unable to care for themselves. The Home Program provides accommodation, nursing care, supervision, and rehabilitation for persons with intellectual disability aged 18 and above. Alternative housing is arranged for Minds residents who do not require institutional care but are unable to stay with their families for a variety of reasons. Minds Hostel administers training to enhance independent living skills, as well as leisure and recreational skills. The residential group home is dedicated to encourage individuals to learn about independent living. The learning and training make it easier for them to be integrated into a larger community later on.
Mindsview is unique in the sense that other than providing residential services, we also provide therapeutic services such as PT, OT, as well as psychological intervention in managing clients with challenging behavior.
We continuously innovate to enhance our teaching process and curriculum.
We live in a very IT-savvy generation, and our students are no different from the rest of the youth out there. They've embraced technology very well, and our schools have also leveraged on IT to try and engage our students even better.
Minds highlights the importance of maximizing each individual's potential and interests. Activities focusing on arts, music, and even sports are dedicated to develop their creativity.
It is in giving that we receive. So Mandarin Oriental Singapore has initiated this charity war in the spirit of teaching our staff compassion and giving. You can see from the colorful tiles and the creativity of our friends with intellectual disabilities. We walk by the stairways every day, looking at them and brightening our days. That in turn brightens up the day of our guests when we are able to give them good and happy services. Many a time, Minds thank us for the contribution we've given, but in fact, we should thank them to allow us to share the blessings with all of them.
Yes, I'm very happy that he feels to enjoy his work, and I'm very proud of him. I appreciate what he has done.
We are not alone in pursuing excellence. We have volunteers, caregivers, donors, groups, and various organizations that support us and our vision. At Minds, we recognize that every client is unique. Whatever their abilities, Minds goes the extra mile to ensure that they all receive the guidance, care, and acceptance needed to develop them into happy, confident members of society. It is a journey of committed service and dedication. Find out more about Minds. Join us in our vision. Enrich, engage, and empower.
Thank you. Okay, I want to share with you a program that we currently run for the last 4 years. We call it High Job. It's actually a job placement and job support service that we provide, right? And it's because we strongly believe that persons with intellectual disability also have the ability to work and sustain their employment, given the necessary support, right? In terms of what we do under High Job, we actually will start by sourcing both the client to be placed and also sourcing for the job. Once we find a match, then we go into securing the job for him or her. And in securing, we actually help him prepare his CV, we prepare him for the interview. Once he's engaged, we go into a support mode for 6 months, right? And this is where our so-called allied health professionals, the psychologists, the occupational therapists will come together and help him to settle into the job. And then we help him to sustain by doing weekly review on what are the things that we need to do for him. And in terms of the support frequency, for the first 3 days, we actually spend almost the whole day with him. Things we need to get him settled on will be how to travel to and from work, how to go back, where to find the canteen, where to find the lockers, for example. Thereafter, in the first 2 months, we actually visit him once a month just to make sure that he's okay. We talk to the fellow colleagues, we talk to the supervisor to see if there's anything else we need to do for him. And we will slowly pull back our support, 3rd and 4th month, maybe once in 2 weeks, and then in the last 2 months, once a month. But they being individual with different needs. Sometimes some people will need more, some will need less. Some don't even want us to be seen. So in those cases, we have to hide behind the column and watch him. Right? So that's the support that we give. In the last 4 years that we've been running this program, we've managed to place about 182 of them in the open employment. And in terms of the sustainability, I'm very happy to note that it's at least 80% that managed to keep the job. Of course, we have our fair share of failures for many different reasons, right? And when we did a quick survey with them, what motivates them to work, you'll find at the top, although they say money and job, there's a list of factors that motivates them. But having said that, it doesn't mean that they should not be paid fair wages. Okay, just like, don't expect staff to work for free. Okay, but interestingly is feeling appreciated, getting the support from fellow colleagues, getting support from the supervisor, and most importantly, the friends that they have, in the colleagues that they have, right? So a successful placement actually involves various stakeholders. Of course, the teachers and the trainers are the ones that will have to work very hard to get him to stay on the job. But very importantly are also the parents and the caregivers. Okay, a lot of this is a group of very vulnerable people, and a lot of parents are actually very concerned what will happen to them. Okay, we have one mother who one day had a shock of her life when she saw that the child was actually smoking at home, and she almost freaked out because in the workplace, they were smoking, and then somebody started passing him cigarettes to smoke. And one day he decided to pocket one cigarette and took it home. And when the mother saw him smoking, she freaked out and she called us up and said, "What's going on?" Okay, but these are the things that our job coaches will be looking out for. A lot of BGR issue, a lot of vulgar language issue, right? And of course, co-workers and supervisors and the job coach as well. Well, I will share with you 2 success stories. One is Andrew Jeremiah Wee. Okay, Andrew has gone through a series of jobs, in and out of jobs, and never managed to sustain. But basically because he didn't get the support, people didn't understand him. When he asked for help, everybody ignored him. And to some extent, they were like blaming him for anything that goes wrong, right? So the mother was very concerned and actually wrote to the ministry for help. And we will then link up with Andrew, and we actually found him suitable. So we actually placed him in Uniqlo. Okay? Uniqlo Singapore is now doing very well for Uniqlo in the sense that they set a KPI of at least one person with special needs in each outlet. But in Singapore, we have already achieved 2. Not even in Japan, that they do more than 1. Right? So Andrew is very happy there, and in his own words, he used to struggle because people did not want to help him even though he asked, and he actually felt very lonely. Right? But now at Uniqlo, he's always looking forward to go to work. He's got lots of friends, and he even started his own Facebook. Okay, yeah, I think essentially is he feels very appreciated, right? And being appreciated and being valued are what actually sustain this group of people. And of course, the job coaches also have noticed that they are becoming more punctual. The attendance is very good. Very hardly they will say, I'm too tired to go to work. Right? The next story is Jason. Jason also has been in and out of jobs. Again, for the same reason, not being appreciated, not being supported. But Jason, also in Uniqlo, he is the first person with special needs to be given an award for customer service. And this is not even happening in Japan. So he's the first in the Uniqlo chain to actually receive this award for customer service, right? As testimony for the employer side, we have Fauzia from the Holiday Inn Singapore. Initially, they were very hesitant. They were not sure what they're getting into. But having employed a couple of them, they are now a lot more comfortable because they now know how to deal with them. And in fact, the girl on the bottom left, you see Siti Rashida. Initially, we thought she was hearing impaired because when we spoke to her, we didn't get any response from her. We're not sure whether she understood our instruction or whatever that we are telling her. But eventually, after she settled down, she got comfortable with her work. She started opening up because we were on the verge of sending her to a specialist to check if she's really hearing impaired. And today, I'm very happy to say that she has even been promoted to a senior kitchen stewardess, and she is now in turn teaching new employees. Right? So that is an amazing achievement for Citi. Okay, some examples of employers that we currently have put our clients in. In the hotel side, we have Shangri-La, very supportive. Holiday Inn, Mandarin Oriental, and Crown Plaza. In the cleaning contractor, okay, you have Food Haven, etc. But F&B is also something coming up quite strongly. Laksania, as you saw, Sin, I mentioned in the video. We have Arnold Fried Chicken, we have the McDonald's and the KFC, okay? But under others, you'll find Uniqlo. We have people in the Cineplex who can do ushering work. We even have 2 dental assistants, I think. Yeah, so that's what they are capable of doing. Right? So in Andrew's words, which is what I want to share with you, we do have abilities. Don't ever think that we can't work at all. We should be encouraged and supported so that we can perform to the best of our ability. We are not disabled. Right? Now, as an alternative, instead of individually going out to work, we actually also come up with a model of what we call enclave. And this is basically because a lot of these people are not able to travel. They cannot travel independently. They don't know how to take the bus. They don't know how to take the train. If they do, they probably get lost. They got out at the wrong station, and we have to go manhunting for them because they also don't know where they are. So we came up with an enclave model where we actually bus a group. So in this example, we bus a group of 10, followed by a staff, and they actually work at the employer's workplace, right? And basically, the staff is also there to supervise their work as well as to supervise a client. So I want to thank you. If there's any interest to find out more, I have 2 colleagues with me today. We can always share with you a bit more. And before your tea break. I just want to do a commercial break. Okay, a 30-second video
when
commercial.
When we first began, we could not imagine what we can create,
what we can bring to people, how we can make a difference.
We have incredible support from many people who support us, guide us, make us challenge ourselves.
We thank you for the years of contribution and inspiration and the chance to show that we can.